Hi, I'm Josh. I'm the child of an alcoholic and a volunteer at NACOA, and I'm here today with a very special video. Less talking about my experience of being the child of an alcoholic and more of a public plea. And I want to start by reading a quote that I came across a couple of weeks ago reading a book by a guy called Carl Rogers. And it says, "Almost always, when a person realizes he has been deeply heard, his eyes moisten. I think in some real sense he is weeping for joy. It is as though he was saying, 'Thank God, somebody heard me. Somebody knows what it is like to be me.' In such moments, I've had the fantasy of a prisoner in a dungeon tapping out day after day a Morse code. Does anybody hear me? Is anybody there? And finally, one day he hears some faint tappings which spell out, yes. By that one simple response, he is released from his loneliness. He has become a human being again." Now that quote really touched me, and it resonated very deeply with me. I was a little way into adulthood, around 24, 25 years old, when I was released from my loneliness and was able to feel human. And through NACOA and through everything that I do in my life today, I continually meet people who have had a life full of loneliness, of pain, only just realizing in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s and beyond, only just being released from their loneliness, only just becoming human. Now, I'm not here to blame. I'm not here to start trying to point fingers. I'm here to ask why. I'm here to ask the question why it's taken this long for people to have the opportunity to be released from their loneliness and the opportunity to be human. 10 years ago, my first daughter was born and she was placed in my arms, and at 18 years old, I was catapulted into adulthood. And I remember looking at my daughter and thinking more than anything in the world, I wanted to give her the opportunity to have a life free of some of the thoughts and feelings that I buried deep inside me all my life. And the truth is for the next 5 years, I failed. Or society would have viewed me as someone, just another person who didn't care, another person incapable of looking after his own children. And the second part was absolutely true. But the want was there, the desire was there, but I was totally incapable. I was trapped in my own loneliness, unable to have the opportunity to be human. Again, I'm not here to point the fingers. I'm not here to try and justify any of the actions that I made in them 5 years. I'm just here to try and understand so that it doesn't have to happen to people that are children now of alcoholics. As I say, it took me 5 years, 5 years of my daughter's life and my other children's life before I reached a place where I felt like I'd been heard, like I felt like I'd been human. So that brings me to the question of why, when there's over 5 million, and in my opinion that's a gross underestimate, why there is 5 million children in society in the UK today who haven't been given the opportunity to be freed from their loneliness, to be made to feel human. A little 6 days ago, something amazing happened in my life, and this was placed in my arms. My daughter. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, the moment that this little girl finds her voice and is able to speak, she will be heard, and she will be given the opportunity to be human. Her birth has changed my life again, changed my world again, but it's also ignited something in me, a desire to make sure that by the time Maya reaches school, the school children that are in her class, that will inevitably be in her class and everybody else's, the children of alcoholics, have the opportunity to be released from their loneliness and to become human long before they ever reach adulthood and have consequences way beyond what they're able to deal with. I don't make this video to start to try to control the way people are drinking. I'm not asking people to start looking at the way they drink. That's none of my business. In the last week since Maya came along, I've seen alcohol used in a positive way, and I've seen it be a decent part of the party. But the fact is, there's many children out there today who are not being given the opportunity to be human. And I know the world we live in today, money's a big factor, and there's, I'm not asking to move mountains, but I'm asking that every teacher, every friend, every colleague, every person on this planet, or at least in the UK, knows someone who is affected by their parents drinking. That is a fact. And I think it's time that everybody started realizing that there's subtle things that we could do, and we all have the opportunity to help, to come together, so that children of alcoholics can be heard way before they reach adulthood. And to the children of alcoholics themselves, I hope this video gets seen. So I do ask that people can share this video. I ask that at least that this video gets shared, and that this starts to get talked about by everyone, and society realizes that we can do more, so that there's more children like this little girl here that get brought into the world and get made to feel human from the moment that they can even realize it.